Do you think you need money to start a side hustle? Then think again. In this video, I will show you 20 completely free ways to start earning online. There will be no hidden fees, no fluff, and no experience needed. These are real methods I have tested myself, and some of them can even make you money today. So let's dive in. In case you don't know, my name is Michael and I have made money online for years and I've tested hundreds of different methods. And it seems some people think that to get a great side hustle, you need to invest, and that is not necessarily true. And that's why I decided to record this video where I will show you 20 easy side hustle to get started with. But let's also talk about the earning expectations, because it of course depends on the specific job or the specific side hustle you choose. I will show you a lot of different methods, 20 different ones, and each method actually have a lot of different platforms or jobs you can apply for there. And some of them will be ways to start earning a tiny bit of extra money right here, right now. Others will take a little bit more effort to start earning, but then potentially some of them can even build into a full-time income. Some of them definitely don't have that potential, but which methods are best really depends on your personal preferences. So that's why I will show you so many different methods, and I will also explain more about the earning potential and how to get started with each of these methods. The majority of the options I will show here will be online, something you can do from anywhere. I have put it into 4 different categories, and for each category I show a number of different opportunities. So the first category is easy online tasks and micro job ideas, and for that one I will show you 8 options. The second category is apps and passive income. I will show you 4 methods for that one. Then skill-based and remote work, I will show you 4 methods you can use if you're interested in that category. And then also I have a category that I call human interaction and gig-based. I will show you another 4 different methods you can use if that's the type of jobs you're interested in. So it's not a prioritized list. I will just start from the first category, go over the 8 first there, and then move on to the next category, and then you can go through this all quick overview to find out which of the methods are the right for you. And you can of course use as many of them as you want to combine it to make it more interesting and potentially also earn more. So let's now get to the first category and the first option. So the first category, as mentioned, is easy online task and micro job ideas. I'll show you 8 methods for this, and the first one is paid service, because if we're talking about easy, fast ways to earn a bit of extra money on the side, we have to talk about paid service. It is one of the absolute fastest ways to earn a bit of extra money. It will not make you rich, but it is easy to get started with on your phone, on your computer. But it's very important you choose the right platforms for your country, and that's why on my website I have built manually lists for a big number of countries and put together a list of the best service sites and apps. So you can just come to this here and choose which of the countries you live in. And if you don't live in any of these, there's also an international service site there, and then easily get started with the best ones in your country. I will later also talk about where you can find all this information I talk about here, if there are any of the topics you want to dive deeper into, or where you can find the links to all the information that I will show you here. But that's the first method, paid service. The second method is paid offers, and paid offers is something you can find on Get Paid to sites that are completely free to join. This is just one example. Freecast is one of the most popular Get Paid to sites because it has some of the highest paying offers. Paid offers is where you, for example, sign up for free trials. It can be to download apps, to play some games. It can be all kind of different paid offers like that, and some of them can pay really well. You can see a couple of examples here, for example, on the website here. But this is just one example. There are a ton of different Get Paid to sites. You can sign up for many of them. Again, I will also talk about later how you can find a list of the best Get Paid to sites that I have come across. Next, let's talk about micro jobs. And micro jobs is often small social media tasks that you can do, that anyone can do. There are quite a few platforms that offer this. One of the best that I have come across is Timebox. In general, you don't earn that much from these micro tasks, but Timebox is one of the ones that pay the most. So that's one that is worth checking out in my opinion. That's a platform you can also join from all countries. Again, later I will talk more about where I have more information about other micro job platforms, because it can be a good idea for jobs like this to join several platforms to get access to more tasks. Again, this is just a video to give you an overview of many different free side hustles fairly quickly, so you can find out which of the methods you should dive deeper into. Another interesting side hustle where you can start right away, no experience, anything like that, is to do what is called AI training tasks. And that is where you do small tasks to help train AI. One platform where you, for example, can do this is Hyper Micro. You can see some of the examples of the task where you draw boxes around there, you do some semantic segmentation or categorization, something anyone can do. It does not pay well, this AI training tasks there, but on some platforms you can find a lot of work, so if you're patient and like this type of work, it can build up to some decent extra money. A side hustle I really like is user testing. So that means that you get paid to test websites or apps, for example. In many cases, you need to record your screen and then share your thoughts. You need to speak out loud while you answer some questions when you navigate, and you just record it. And the great thing about this here is that it can actually be quite fun and also usually pays quite well. There are usually not a lot of user tests on different platforms, so it's a good idea to sign up for several of them. One example is usertesting.com. It has a decent number of different tests, but again, that depends on where you live. You should always sign up for more user testing platforms. Again, later I will talk more about where I have a full list of all the best user testing platforms that I have come across. A fun way to earn a bit extra money is by playing games, and there are actually platforms that pay you to do that. One example is the app called AppKarma. You sign up for this for free, and then you download some other games through the app there, and you get paid when you play them or reach certain tasks. So it can be a fun way to earn. Playing games is not something that will make you a huge amount of money, but if you like playing games anyways, then why not do it through an app or website where you can actually earn money for doing something that you enjoy doing anyways. A popular side hustle is to use PTC sites, meaning pay to click. So you just get paid to click ads. And I wanted to include it here because a lot of people ask about it, but I also want to make it very clear it's a very ineffective way to earn. Usually you have to maybe click 1,000 ads or something like that to earn just $1. So it's not an effective way, but I know it's a very popular way to earn and it's very easy. So it can be a way to do it. I also do have more information on my website about the best options like this. Again, later I will show you where to find. I'll also leave a link below so you can go and find a full list of all these options here where you can dive deeper into some of the methods. And speaking of methods that are not effective but can be a fun and easy way to earn a bit extra, let's move on to the last of these options in this category before we move on to the next category, which is apps and passive income. Watching videos is another easy way to earn a bit of extra money, and it can be, of course, a fun and entertaining way to earn a bit extra. But just as the previous method I talked about, it is a very ineffective way to earn, but I know people love it. But you do need to be realistic. Yes, there are platforms that will pay you to watch videos. You will not earn a lot. Any platform that promises you to pay you 50 cents or $1 or $2, even more per small video, well, that is a scam platform. There are many platforms that will end up taking money from you instead for this, so be careful. The realistic options will not pay you a lot. Again, you can find more information on my website. I will leave links below there if this is a method. I just want to include it here because I know many people love it, but be realistic about the earning potential of this. And let's now then move on to the next category. So now we finished the first category. So the second category is called apps and passive income. And here I will show you 4 different ways or different methods you can use. The first method I want to show you in this category is to share your unused internet bandwidth, which has become quite popular because if you have an unlimited internet plan, then you can just install certain software and then you will earn in the background without doing anything else as soon as you are online. You can use it both on phones and a computer depending on the platform you use. One option like that is called Pawns. It's one of the most popular platforms for this, and it's an app where you can actually also take surveys. You can also use it on a computer, do other small tasks, but this is just one example. There are several options like this. GetGrass is another one I've talked about here before. So I also have a video where I talk more about in general this internet sharing. I'll leave a link in the top corner so you can check that out if you think this sounds interesting. Just be realistic about the earning potential. It will not earn you a lot, but what is so amazing about this is that you don't have to do anything else once you have set it up. Next, let's talk about overall passive income apps. There are different apps where you just can install them, and then once it's installed, for various reasons, you can earn a bit of extra money completely passively in the background. I do have a list on my website where I talk more about this and where I show 18 legit ways like this that I have come across. So again, you can check out the link in my description to the full list I have of all this, where you can find links and full tutorials about all this. Usually passive income apps like this will not make you huge money, but they are super easy. Again, they are passive, so you don't have to do anything. So of course you also shouldn't expect huge earnings, but why not earn a bit extra without doing anything? If you like cryptocurrency, you will probably like the next option I'm going to talk about, which is free mining apps. And this can be both for Android and iOS devices, and even also for computers sometimes. But be aware that it's not mining in the classical sense where you need to invest in expensive equipment and all that. There are different platforms where you can just click a button, where it doesn't really use any extra resources, and where they will let you earn cryptocurrencies without an investment, without any effort at all. Of course, the earnings won't be huge, but again, with cryptocurrency, if you just want to get into it because you believe in the future of it, the potential of it, then it can be a way to earn a bit of extra cryptocurrencies without any effort and without any investments. But be careful also, there are a lot of fake mining apps like this that promise huge daily earnings for just a small investment. All those there, most of those will end up scamming you, so be very careful. If it sounds too good to be true, it likely is. So be careful when choosing the mining apps you want to use. The last option I want to talk about in this category before we move on to the next category is cashback sites. And cashback sites is where whenever you shop online, that can be on your phone, on your computer, then what you were going to buy anyways, you can buy through certain platforms, and then you'll get a percentage of what you were going to spend anyways into your account. For example, into a platform like Swagbucks, that is one of the more popular get paid to site that also has cashback offers in some countries. So if you ever shop online, then using cashback sites can definitely be a great way to get some of the money you were spending anyways back. Also for cashback sites, I have a full list on my website. I will leave a link below to this full list of all these side hustles there, where you can dive deeper into the different options you want to. But let's now move on to the next category. But before doing that, it would be great if you can just take 1 second to like this video, because it can help it to be seen by more people, and I would definitely appreciate that support. The next category is what I call skill-based and remote work, and for this category I will show you another 4 side hustles you can do. And the first one is to do freelancing gigs, and this can be something you can do basically no matter your skills. If you go on a platform like Fiverr, you can see some of the different categories. For each of these categories, there's a ton of different types of work you can do. So basically, no matter your skills, you can become a freelancer. Fiverr is just one example of a freelance platform, but be creative with your skills, take the time to build it up, and then it can potentially give really great money. Some people even earn a really great full-time income, but it's not something that will just happen automatically. Some people seem to think that just because you create profile on Fiverr, for example, that you will get a ton of work. That's not how it works. You need to build a proper profile. You need to spend a lot of time creating offers and get the first few good reviews, and then you can build from there. But what I do recommend is to not just use Fiverr, because it is one of the most popular, but that also means there's huge competition. So it's a good idea to find lesser known freelance platforms as well. Also, you can find more information on my website about some great freelance platforms on the full list I have of all these free side hustles there, if you want to dive deeper into this topic. Transcription jobs can also be a great way to earn some extra money if you have the skills to do this, of course. In some cases, you also need the right equipment, and with the help of AI, of course, there are also some things you can speed up and optimize. I actually do have a video where I talk more about how to use AI in a legit and ethical way for jobs like this to speed it up. I'll leave a link in the top corner so you can check that out. But there are many platforms that offer transcription jobs, and this is also one of the methods that potentially can build into a great full-time income. Also, on my website, I have a list like that. You can find more information on the full overview list I have where you can dive deeper in here. You can also see I gave some examples of platforms like this. Next, let's talk about data entry jobs. And this can be different types of jobs. There are data entry tasks where you can just join certain platforms, find a data entry job, task, do it here now, get paid here now. Small tasks that doesn't pay well, but it can also be bigger jobs where it can actually be a full-time or a part-time income. And if that's the type of data entry jobs you're looking for, then a platform like FlexJobs is actually quite good because it makes sure that it's only legit job postings that are here, because with data entry jobs there are also a lot of scam posts, so be careful if you just go around looking for full-time data entry jobs. But this is just one example of where you can find data entry jobs. Again, you can find more information also about all the best data entry platforms that I have come across on my website. The last option in this category, before we move on to the last category, is chat support jobs. Because if you like to sit and chat, then there are still jobs. Of course, AI has taken over quite a bit of the initial chat support, but people still sometimes, very often, I know myself, when I need chat support, I usually just try to find a way to get to talk to a real human, because AI still has limitations like this. So there still are a lot of chat support jobs available. So if that's something you like to do, then it can be a way to earn a part-time or even a full-time income from anywhere in most cases. Also on my website, I have a full list of different platforms that offer this. So the last category, where I will also show you 4 different free side hustles you can get started with, is what I would call human interaction and gig-based jobs. And one of these is online tutoring. So if you like teaching and you want to do it online so you can do it from anywhere, then there are many different tutoring platforms. Just one example is Schooly, but that's just one platform. There are many platforms like that, and exactly which requirements they have for you to sign up for, that depends on the platform and the topics you would be teaching. But if you like teaching, then the online world has now made it possible to do it from anywhere, and that can also potentially build up to a really great online income. Another side hustle that can be quite entertaining and fun, and also potentially give some great extra money, is to participate in focus groups. So that means that you can do this both online and also offline. So you meet a group of people, you have to discuss a certain topic. There will usually be an interviewer that will ask these different questions and facilitate it. And I have participated in several of these, and it definitely can be quite fun, and usually they pay quite well also. One example of a platform that offers this is called FF Focus Groups, and you can see, for example, here in this case here, you can earn $100, here $115, $200. Of course, the more you can get paid, usually the more effort it also takes, but overall, by signing up for different focus groups, because usually it would be limited how many you can qualify for, but if you sign up for several different platforms, then you can regularly find this, and that can definitely give some nice extra money once in a while. We are getting very close to the end, and the option I now want to talk about is mystery shopping jobs. So that means that you have to go to some kind of shop usually. So that's where you physically have to move somewhere. Sometimes there can also be mystery shopping job opportunities online, but usually they are offline. So you get some kind of task where you have to show up and pretend you're a regular customer, because the company behind wants to know how it feels for real customers, and you do all these small tasks you were then asked to do, and then you can get paid to do that. So it can be a fun way to earn a bit extra, but how many opportunities there are like this, of course, depends on your location. Usually if you live in bigger cities with a lot of stores, there will be more tasks like that. One platform you can sign up for this is, for example, called Secret Shopper. There's also another one called IntelliShop. Also, for mystery shopping jobs, I have more information on the full overview article I'll talk a little bit more about in just a bit. The last option I want to talk about is gig economy jobs, and this has become very popular because they can build up to a really great income, and you can do gig jobs basically no matter your skills. There are, for example, an app like Field Agent that has all kind of small tasks where you maybe need to go into shops and take some pictures. There can be something like Bellhop where you can become a mover. There are platforms like TaskRabbit where you can assembly furnitures. There is something like Petbagger where you can take care of pets, and there's also platforms where you can take care of children. They're all kind of gig economy jobs, it's called, because you will get hired for small gigs, and if you do a good job, then you will usually get good reviews, and it can really build up to a nice extra income. So if you don't mind going out and finding physical work like this, then gig economy jobs can be a great option. But let's now then talk about how you can get started with these. Where can you find more information about them? So as you can see, there are a lot of great free side hustles you can get started with, no matter your experience. Which of these options are the best really depends on your personal preferences. I have mentioned several times that you can find information on my website. The easiest way to do that is to go to this article I have about the best free side hustles, where I mentioned all of these. For each of these, you can see the examples, and then you can also go read a quick overview of each of these options there. For each of them, you can also then find the links to the full list I have of the different ones. So you can just come here if you want to know even more about it, click on the option you want to know more about, easily get started with the platforms that I personally have tested and that I recommend. So that's an easy way to get started. Or you can just also listen to this video here, go there and search based on the options I have shown you. I definitely hope that no matter what, that it has given you a lot of inspiration, and I would also love to hear from you in a comment below. Which of these side hustles do you think is the best for you and why? I would love to hear that. And if you decide to try new side hustles based on this video here, I would also love to hear which ones you want to try out, and once you've done it, what your experiences are. So please feel free to share that below. And also, if the video helped you, make sure to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out next time I release a video with tips and tricks about different ways to make money online.